Happy Friday evening to my Fight Time sisters. You've got Britteny McIntyre here with you tonight. So first things first, before I get started, today was not my scheduled day to have posted. I was actually supposed to post yesterday, and I forgot. The long and short of it is I forgot. I had a pretty long day yesterday, and I didn't get home until probably 10 or 10:30 at least last night. And so by the time I got my kids settled and I spent time with my husband and all of the nighttime routine for my whole house was taken care of, it was very, very late, and I just went to sleep. So I am very sorry about that, ladies. Very, very sorry about that. So when I reached out to the Fight Time team today, Sweet Brienne said if I had something that was churning in my heart, then she would allow me to take today. And it was. And so that brings me to say, I think it is actually really interesting that my day yesterday went the way that it did, and then I forgot to post. And then today, for me, went the way that it did. Because if I had tried to share this with you ladies yesterday, I would not be able to talk about this topic with the same passion as I can literally just today. So just 24 hours, God did some things in my life, and now I can speak on this topic with a renewed passion and dedication, I guess I could say. Okay, so what I intended to talk about yesterday was marriage. Surprise. That's a pretty common topic with me. Sorry, not sorry. It's important. It is, okay. So, to any of you that do not know, my husband and I teach the marriage class at our church, and it's made a difference in our lives. And the people in the class have made an impact on us, and I hope that we've been able to encourage and support them. And so marriage comes up with me a lot, okay? So the last few weeks in marriage class specifically, we have been talking about the importance of the covenant of marriage. Okay, not the contract of marriage, but the covenant of marriage. My hair is, that's bad. It's okay. It's just sisters on here, right? Okay, so first, let me explain the simple difference between a contract and a covenant, okay? So in a contract, we try to protect our rights as much as we can and limit the things that we are responsible for in a contract, right? Then in a covenant, which is God designed, in a covenant, we give up our rights and we pick up our responsibilities, okay? So in relation to marriage specifically, the way that God intended it to be, we do not enter into a marriage contract, okay? Instead, we have a marriage covenant. And when we do that, we make vows to our spouse at our wedding, before our friends and our loved ones, and we also make those vows and enter into a covenant with God. So 3 people, a husband and a wife, and God make a covenant, okay? So when we're talking about those vows that we make at our wedding, let's go over those really quick, okay? There are lots of variations on that. You know, some people write their own, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. But the most common version of that sounds like, I take you to be my wedded husband / wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. Okay, that's the core of marriage vows, right? But I want you to think about it. I want you to think about this, okay? That is part of making a covenant. What it does not say is, because we do not enter into a contract, it does not say this. It does not say, I take you to be my husband. I'm reading notes because I could not just wing this. I had to write it down, okay? I take you to be my husband, to have and hold until someone better comes along. For better only because when times get tough, I'm out. For richer, definitely. And if you fail to provide, I'm finding someone worth more. In health, and if you get sick and need tending to, then I'll find someone really good to take care of you, and I'll make sure to love and cherish you as long as you keep up your part of this contract. And if you don't respect my rights, then I have to find somebody who will treat me better. Those are not the vows that we make, ladies. That is not a covenant right there. That is like the very definition of a contract, okay? But that's not what we do. That's not what marriage is about, right? We enter into a covenant, not a contract. And we need to focus on the importance of that covenant, okay? Now, obviously, I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I'm not talking about like abuse or, you know, cases like that, okay? That's different. Abuse, violence, danger, that's different, okay? But for the most part, I think people have tended to focus more on their rights than their responsibilities, specifically when it comes to marriages nowadays. Okay? And so that brings me back around to what I had churning in my heart and what kind of renewed my passion for being able to speak on this today, is that I had intended on talking to the ladies about the covenant of marriage and how important it is to have each other's backs through thick and thin, for better or for worse, till death do you part, okay? So I'll be honest with you ladies, okay? I think being married is kind of the coolest thing ever. I think it's the bee's knees. I think it's great. But it is absolutely not without its trials, okay? It is not always a walk in the park. It is work, it is real, it is raw, and it takes everything you have on both parts. Marriage is absolutely not a 50-50 agreement. It is a 100-100 agreement. Every day, no matter what, whether you feel like it or not, that's what you signed up for, okay? When you made your vow on the day that you got married, you literally signed up for the worst part of the better. You signed up for the sickness part as well as the health. You signed up for the poor part as well as the rich part, okay? And then what is hilarious and not hilarious at the same time is that none of us knew when to be quiet, and we just kept right on talking in our vows, and we finished it all the way to the bitter end, and we said till death do us part. Okay, so you signed up for it, ladies. You did. I did. I signed up for it, and boy, I've been through it. I think my hubby is the greatest, but you know, he's human, and so am I, and that's okay. He signed up for it. All right. So the reason why I said what I said is that I think it's interesting that I forgot to post yesterday, and now I'm posting today, is because in 24 hours, God put a situation in my husband's life that is absolutely going to change our lives. Absolutely. It is undeniable. It is a fact. It is going to change our lives soon. It's going to change our lives quickly, like in the next 6 weeks. So here I am, talking about marriage vows and what we signed up for and what I signed up for. And I got some news today while I was sitting at work, and I realized, well, now we get to walk through that together. Okay? Because the kicker is, we made a covenant to each other and to God. And we now are going to have to walk through this test together. That's the way that it is. That's what we signed up for. Okay? Because we vowed to have each other's backs, and we get to prove that to each other every day. Not we have to prove that to each other every day, but we get to prove that to each other every day. Okay? And we get to trust God that He is going to make His plan and His path for us clear to follow. And so I wanted to get on here and talk to you ladies about that today, because the fact is, sometimes, sisters, you are going to have to willingly choose to walk through the fire, whatever that may mean for you. Okay? You are going to have to willingly choose to walk straight through the middle of the fire. You are going to have to knowingly climb into a crucible. Okay? So if any of you do not know what a crucible is, it's a metalworking object, and you pour all of your metals into this little object. It's a crucible, and it concentrates the heat and the fire and the flame. It concentrates it on whatever is contained inside of that crucible. And the reason why it concentrates it is because the flame has to be hot. It has to be an intense, intense fire in order to purify the metals that you put into that crucible. Okay? That's the only way to get pure metals, is they have to go into a crucible. Okay? And then, so in life, ladies, you're gonna have to willingly walk through the fire. You're gonna have to climb into a crucible. And then you're going to have to trust that God will use that situation to burn away impurities in your life. And you have to trust that you're going to come out the other side purified and with a clearer purpose. And it's scary, okay? Ladies, it's scary. But God does not ever promise us that He's going to make situations not scary. He does not promise us that it's always going to be easy. The simple fact is, He does say that you're going to have to do it. You have to choose. You don't have to, you get to. You get to choose to do it. Because God is not going to make you. God's not going to make you. Your husband is not going to make you. Your parents, your kids, your siblings, your job, your friends, they're not going to make you. You get to choose to. Okay? Nobody can make you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for yourself. You have to get in that crucible that God has given you the choice of getting into, and trusting in Him that He's going to use that situation to purify you, okay, and make you stronger. You get to make yourself uncomfortable. You get to be a little scared for a little while you walk this out. That's okay. You can choose to let that build your faith, because when you don't know what to do, God knows what to do. You know, you get to do these things so that you can walk out the other side of that fire. You can climb out of that crucible in your life stronger than ever. Your faith can be stronger than ever. Your integrity can be intact, okay? Because, like I said, a crucible is used to burn away impurities. And when you are holding on to your faith and you are standing on your integrity and your word, that can't be burned away. That can only be made stronger. Everything else will fall away, and that will still be remaining, because that is pure and that is right. And that is what you need. That is your anchor that's going to get you closer to God and let you be a light and a symbol to other people who need it. Okay? You can use these situations in your life. You can have a stronger faith. You can keep your integrity intact. You can walk through the hottest flames of the biggest fire you've ever faced in your life. And you can do that with confidence, knowing that God just used you to prove to others that He still works. Okay? That He is still working every day. Because sometimes all He's waiting for is your willingness to be used as a tool in His example to prove to others that He still is. Okay? And that's it. That's really it. So ladies, I know that is kind of harsh. I know that's kind of hard. But that's a fact. Okay, ladies? Sometimes you are going to have to make choices that are going to be hard and that are going to hurt and that are uncomfortable and that you don't want to make. But you're going to have to make those decisions. You're going to have to walk through the flames. You're going to have to walk through the fire on faith and nothing else. Just faith and trust and knowing that on the other side, you will have become a tool that God used to prove that He is working and He is real. And it will be undeniable. And then, like I said, you will be able to have your faith made stronger and purer, and your integrity will be intact. And you can be the light for other people that maybe they needed it. Maybe they were overcome with their fear. Maybe they were afraid to step into the flames. Okay? Maybe they needed you to prove to them that God is still faithful. Maybe they needed your faith to prove to them that God's faith can't be questioned. So that's it. That's what I have for you tonight. I know it started off kind of on marriage and the covenant of that and how important that is. But that just kind of segued me because it started as a situation that my husband and I are facing together. And then it just kind of ended up with letting your faith prove to others that God is still faithful. All right? So I hope that can help you ladies. I hope that it encouraged some of you ladies. I hope that it emboldened some of you ladies. And just know that your faith can and will be used to prove to others that God is still faithful. All right? So I love y'all so very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.